Hello, thank you for joining. In this video I'm gonna show you how to produce music starting with €0 of budget. The first level being €0 and not even a PC, then €0 but you own a PC. Next up, around €100 of budget, around €300 of budget, and at least €1,000 of budget. If you have a PC and don't want to see the phone DAW, please skip ahead. So let's take a look at BandLab. I tested it for some mid-beat. You can choose what kind of track you want, have some starters, pick what kind you want. You will have your pattern there, and you can add different stuff, but not custom stuff. See, you have your little arrangement. You can add some more virtual instruments, even have a little MIDI pattern. It's complete as what I'm doing here. And yeah, I think if you take the time and are somewhat skilled, you could actually make an okay song, and you can also record different things and implement them in your song. A good way to start. If you are on iOS, you should probably try GarageBand because it is very good, very powerful. You can have it on your iPad. I think you have much more control than BandLab. And I've also listed some almost free alternatives that cost like maybe €20. I don't know for every single one though, but they aren't free. If you don't have a PC and want to get started, take a look into these. Let's say you have a PC and you want to start for free. The things you're going to need are a DAW, which is the software in which you do everything. There are plenty of free ones out there, I'm going to show you in a second. Next up, you're going to need some instruments to create your sounds. For example, synthesizers or samplers. Then you're going to need some samples to put in your samples or to start working on a beat or other kind of song. And you will also need some plugins, but your DAW comes with a lot of great plugins already. I've picked some free DAWs for the PC. Those aren't the only ones, but I picked those for this video. My favorite is Waveform Free. I'm going to show you a demo of producing in a bit. The other options are Cakewalk, Reaper and GarageBand. Please note that GarageBand will only work on Apple. I have installed the free version of Waveform, and let's try to make a small beat like that. The drum sampler here is called Micro Drum Sampler. Let's just select some random samples and drag them in here. Take this kick and a snare and a clap. Okay, we've got some sounds. Let's add a loop or something. Let's take this sample, it's in 82 BPM, so we set the project to 82. Each note has some drum, which means we only have to insert a new MIDI clip. Let's make it a 4-bar loop. If you want to zoom in vertically, you have to press Ctrl and use the mouse wheel. And you can see it tells you every drum you have. And if you want to zoom in horizontally, you press Alt. If you click a note, you create one. If you double click one, you delete it again. This is a very random loop, but it is very easy to use the drum machine. Next thing to try are plugins. You do that by first installing and finding your plugins. Then you press the plus here, type in whatever you want. We could compress this now if we wanted. Let's add an 808 because now we want to add one sample and manipulate the pitch. Press micro sampler, and then we're going to add an 808. I'm going to drag my 808 sample in here. We have our drums here, we have our sample here, so let's add another MIDI clip. The bass note will always be C4, so everything above that will pitch it up and everything below will pitch it down. Last thing, vital. I must say, for a free DAW, I'm very impressed. You have all the normal functions, you have infinite tracks, you have samplers, you have multi-track samplers, you have plugins, you have MIDI, you have everything you need. So this is completely free and you are not missing out on anything. So go ahead and get any. If you like BandLab more, you should get BandLab. Just take whatever works for you. There's no best or right software, but I gotta say, Waveform Free is pretty impressive. So go ahead and check them out. All the instruments compiled. We have Vital as our soft synth, Spitfire Labs and Symphonic Orchestra Discover Edition as our classical instruments and other kinds of samplers, and the Yuhi Tyrrell N6 for an analog synthesizer. Honorable mentions are the Decent Sampler and the pianobook.co.uk. If you have your software, you will want samples, of course. I picked up some free sites. The first one is Cymatics FM. You have a lot of shit you can get here for free. Not only loops, but also some plugins or effects. Next up is Looperman. You can find loops and vocals. Just press acapellas, for example. Make your advanced search and let's say, okay, we want a 100 BPM C major vocal, and we search for acapellas and we have 519 results. Let's play some.
Even when I feel empty, the stars, they whisper calling.
So you can get a lot of stuff here. Next up is freesound.org. Don't mix it up with freesounds.org because you will have to buy the domain for 25,000. But at Freesound, it's literally the same. You can type in something that you're searching for and maybe find it. Now, if you have a lot of samples, you might want to consider a sample manager, but you don't have to if you organize your folders neatly. If I recall correctly, the 1.2 version of the ADSR sample manager is free. There's also a paid version for $10. I have to tell you one thing though. You may be tempted to get loads and loads of plugins and loads of samples. In the beginning, I think this is exactly the thing you do not want to do, because option paralysis is real. For example, you want to make a beat and you have like 15 gigabytes of samples. You will have a much harder time choosing from all your options. Same as with plugins. If you have like 15 different EQs, you're not gonna use all of them. You just need the options that work for you, and everything else is just marketing. That's why if you want to be creative, do not overwhelm yourself with infinite options. It is really holding you back, and option paralysis is real. Now over to the effect. There are two very nice effects bundles you can get, but beware, most of your DAWs will have those effects anyway. There is no need to get a lot of plugins, but if you want to get them, check out the Production free effects bundle. You have all sorts of effects in here, from EQ to compression to anything else you could need. Some metering, some tuner, wave shaper. I don't even know what all of those do. And the second one is the Kilohertz effects bundle. The basic bare bones effects, just everything you need but nothing more, which is very good because there are no distractions, no super shiny user interfaces. Just if you want a chorus, you will get a chorus and you get your knobs, and this is it. Next up is Analog Obsession. This is a guy that models old analog gear digitally, and everything is for free. If you're looking for some nice emulations of old gear, they are all really nice. Those are the categories. Personally, I still use their LA2A emulation because I just love that compressor. Next up is Voxengo Span. It's a spectrum analyzer. If you don't like the analyzer of your DAW, get this one. Next up is the U-Lean loudness meter. It's for metering in your mastering process. It shows you the true peak, the LUFS, and some other things. So get that for some metering. I also use this in my mastering up to this day, by the way. If you want another free drum sampler, you can use Zitala by Decomposer. It lets you add some small processing for each element you have. Some of the places where you can get free samples that you don't have to skip through the video, as well as the plugins that I named. I suggest your first investment should be any kind of monitoring, and to be specific, headphones, because If you don't hear what you're doing, it can never be good and you can never know what you're actually doing. I've picked some headphones that fit the category. The Sony MDR 7506 are supposed to be very good. I have never owned them myself, but I've seen very authentic people use them and call them a very good classic pair of headphones that they also keep as they progress through their career. Next up are the Shure SRH 44A. Nothing much to say about them. I know it says 120 here, but you will find some on sale for 100 probably. Next up are the Yamaha HPH MT5 headphones and the ATH M40X. It's important that you don't get consumer headphones because when mixing your music, you want your headphones to tell you the truth. Maybe you could get some used headphones. For example, the 770 Pro. Here they are for 139, but if you get it like used somewhere close to you, you can probably get them for around 100. Generally, I suggest that you get stuff used anyway because you can save like 50, sometimes 70% on some gear. And you can see he's very happy with his headphones. So remember, even if you have headphones, reference your mix. Because yeah, they may sound good, but you have to know what other mixes sound like in those headphones. 300 euro category. Your priority number one should be an audio interface right now, because sometimes the sound cards of your PC are not very good. I have plugged headphones into my PC and it just sounded like shit because I didn't use my interface. Also, some headphones can get a lot of electrical resistance and you need a powerful interface to have enough power that you can hear something. Some candidates are the Minifuse 1, you can see it's 100 euros, the Universal Audio 1 and the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. The best thing about an interface is you can also plug in monitors once you get some. You can record your instruments and microphone. An interface is your centerpiece. Now you're also reaching the budgets where you can consider packs. For example, this little pack has a headphone and a microphone and the interface already. To be honest, those headphones are probably ass, but they will get the job done. As well as the Arturia Minifuse recording pack, you will get a microphone and an interface, even 2 entrances, and you get some headphones. Another honorable mention is the PreSonus Audio Box USB 96 Studio, because you will get headphones, an interface, a microphone, the license for Studio One Pro, which is a DAW. So let's say you have an interface and you don't want to buy a full pack. Your choice can now be either get a microphone or get a full DAW, depending on what your needs are. One microphone I can recommend is the Audio-Technica AT2020, the Lewitt LCT 240 Pro. If you want a little bit of a better quality, you can get the Rode NT1. This is the one I'm actually using right now. I have used it since 2018 for all kinds of purposes, and it's just looking and working just like day one, so their 10-year warranty really isn't just marketing. If you want a DAW, here are some of the prices. If you get the FL Studio Fruity Edition, you cannot record audio. So if you want to rap, you should get the Producer Edition at least. If you want to buy Ableton, you could buy the standard version for 279. If you buy the intro version, you will only have 16 tracks. Logic Pro is very good, but it's only for Mac. It's a lot of value for the money and it will run very smoothly on your Mac, so if you have an Apple device, you should consider Logic Pro. And if you don't want any of the aforementioned, pick Cubase. There are lots of other DAWs out there. Studio One is another one, but I just told you about the main ones. Now the 1000 plus euro category. At this stage, you should consider getting studio monitors and isolating your studio. I don't suggest buying pre-made panels because they are very, very expensive for very little value. I also don't suggest buying foam because it will only block the high frequencies, but all the bass build-up will still happen. Watch some video on how to build your own panels and you will save tons of money. After soundproofing your room, you can also get some monitors. Some good candidates are the Yamahas or the Rockets, the ones I'm using right now, or some Adam Audios. The only thing I truly suggest is listen to the monitors before getting them. Don't get some monitors because some other person has them or because some person says they're good. Now you can also invest in some high-end headphones. Just like with the monitors, listen to the headphones, don't get them because someone says they're good. You should be comfortable with them physically sitting on your head, and you should also somewhat like the sound. If you hate listening to something, you cannot spend 5 hours mixing a song in them. Some good candidates are the Sennheiser HDs, you can take some 600s or 650 depending on your budget. Some Beyerdynamics, they're the ones I'm currently using. I enjoy their sound the most of everything I've ever listened to. Or you can take something from AKG. Just go to your local audio store and listen to some of the non-consumer headphones. At this point you can also invest in a high-end microphone. A very good and proven microphone is the Shure SM7B or the Neumann TLM 102. But not if you do not have the skill to mix and record properly, even a $2,000 microphone will sound bad. Good gear doesn't mean good music. At this point you can also consider some subscription service, just like Splice. One thing I suggest is also investing in literature. One example, Mastering Engineer Handbook by Bobby Owsinski or Mixing Engineer's Handbook, because there is a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of stuff you can learn on YouTube and the internet that'll just be wrong and not help you at all. Everyone, just like I, can make a YouTube tutorial and tell you all sorts of things. People who write books on music production are usually the ones who are in the game for decades, have lots of experience and just know what they're talking about. Now you can also invest in plugins. Some of my favorite instruments are Serum 2. If you like it analog, get the Arturia V collection. All those classic old synths, the Juno, Jupiter, Korg. Last thing is Contact. It is a library for all sorts of instruments, but you have to buy Contact and then you also sometimes have to buy the instruments inside of Contacts. Now the effects. Some all-time classics are all the FabFilter effects, everything you need basically. Same with the Kilohertz bundle. You will get all their plugins and a phase plant, which is a very good synthesizer. It gives you complete control over everything. You create your own oscillators, envelopes, effect chains, everything. Like if you want complete full control without being limited in any way, you should get a phase plant. Then Soothe, it's very nice for resonance taming. It's also very nice for mixing in general because I always sidechain with that. If you want classic effects, you can get the Arturia FX Collection 5. Maybe you've heard about Sound Toys. They have all sorts of effects like Decapitator, Echo Boy, and maybe check out Waves too. But don't subscribe to get plugins you will never own. One of the greatest bundles, I think, is the Valhalla bundle. All of the plugins are only $50. They are worth way more than that. I use Valhalla Future Verb, Vintage Verb, and Shimmer all the time in my own productions, and I couldn't live without them. My last secret point, pirating and cracking plugins. You will often hear just don't do it. And of course, I suggest do not crack anything. It is illegal. You can get a lot of problems, but I cannot prevent you from doing it. If you really think you have to do it, and if you're gonna do it anyway, then please do it right. Step number 1 is always have a VPN active. Now that you have your VPN active, don't go to some random Russian torrent pages where you install whatever. Use some pages that have a community. You can use AudioZ, for example, for download.net. You can maybe even use Gmail. But even if there's a community, there is not a single % of a guarantee that the plugins will be safe. Always check them on VirusTotal or in a sandbox or whatever, but even then it is not safe, no matter what it tells you. So if you install something cracked, regard your hard drive as being compromised. No sensitive data, no sensitive passwords, no credit card or whatever, no online shopping. Whatever you do on that PC, if you installed a single cracked plugin, it's forever compromised. Okay, either you completely reset and null your hard drive or you replace it. So please don't install anything on your parents' computer or on an important super fast SSD you like. Whatever you do, that hard drive is killed. It's only for music now. Some additional problems are smoothness and copyright. So some plugins may be unstable. They can maybe disrupt your workflow and kill your vibe while producing if it crashes for the 5th time. Other things are the rights, because if you use a cracked Serum, for example, you cannot earn money anymore with that song. Of course, nobody will notice it in the beginning and you can earn money, but if they find out, Serum can sue you, demand reparations, and maybe even take some of your earnings away. So just don't do it. And the last thing, if you pirate plugins, you're inclined to get a lot of plugins you really don't need and you're not helping yourself, okay? As you can see, whoa, all that crazy stuff right here. But I don't need any of them. Of course, I have some of those, like I have Soothe or whatever I have normally, but this tempts you to get a lot of shit you don't really need. Just don't do it, okay? Keep your hard drive safe, keep your earnings safe, and keep your system safe. Next thought is, there is no correct way of doing music. Yes, there are some rules here and there, but in the end, what counts is that you enjoy your music, okay? So don't listen to any video, don't listen to me, don't listen to anyone, just create what you like and what you find beautiful. That's what it's about. There is no correct way of doing music. We have reached the end of the video and I thank you so much for watching this. I hope I could help you in any way. You can let me know how far along your music journey you are in the comments. Feel free to check out the rest of my YouTube channel. I also produce music, you can find me on Spotify. Also, I'm sorry for the background noises because it's the 31st. I also have a Discord channel where we could talk, or I could give you a song review. Let me know what type of video you want next. Of course, I have some ideas up and coming, but if you want something, I will do it. And I hope you still have a wonderful day. See you next time.